Compassion by definition means to be sympathetic, pitiful, and concerned for the sufferings or misfortunes of others. I like to read a quote by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. As a social animal, this is a brother, sister, showing a smile, showing happiness, you feel happy. This was said by His Holiness the Dalai Lama at the global launch of Sea Learning Day 2. If someone you see is feeling joyful or happy, you naturally feel that. We are humans, and that is a natural instinct to feel. Likewise, if they were upset or sad, we also feel that. All humans feel this way with one another, because we feel this way because we are all interconnected. So how does compassion play a crucial role in resilience, especially with self-compassion? This can help individuals respond to difficulties with kindness and understanding. This can create a supportive mindset that facilitates resilience. Resilience, what is resilience? It is the ability to withstand troubles or obstacles in your way. And so, Sea Learning, it was just actually social, emotional, and ethical learning, and it's currently promoted by His Holiness the Dalai Lama since 2019. This was not created by him, however, it is actively promoted. And so, how is compassion truly used in our everyday lives? Compassion can be shown in both easy and difficult ways. This is another quote selected by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Daily, when we look television, a lot of suffering, a lot of poor people, a lot of violence, and seeking these things, you are one of the human being had other human brothers, sisters, really unnecessary person passing through. Animal, if you see next person starvation, dying, you enjoy meal here. How can you feel happy? We are social animals, and even other animals, social animal like elephant or some other, there are one of the other member dying. You can also see some kind of grievance. This is also said as global launch of Sea Learning Day 2. This basically shows how compassion goes beyond just humans, but can also go through with animals. Because animals, when, for example, an elephant, when one of the members are dying, they will also feel that sadness for them. It's not just humans, so it shows that compassion goes beyond it. And so at this crucial stage right now at the world when there's some turmoil, compassion is one of the most important attributes to have. Because compassion means you're opening up your heart, you're becoming more vulnerable, and therefore opening up your heart, like I already said, and showing all this good thoughts within you. And you are opening up your heart, and you are showing a kind of good relationship with one another, and therefore you have a good time and a good fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the wonderful comments. You are a young Tibetan and growing up in Northern Virginia, and a bridge between two worlds, right? You are surrounded in Northern Virginia with so many people and cultures and languages also, but you carry Tibet as well, right? In your name, and in your family, in your history. So how do you want Tibetans inside Tibet, a young Tibetan like yourself, to think about you and to know about you and know about what compassion means in your life?
I want them to know that there are Tibetans like them outside of Tibet who know that they exist and that they struggle every day inside of Tibet. And so therefore I do want to, like, if I was talking to them right now, I would tell them, like, you are not alone. I am also here. I'm in a similar kind of age as you. And therefore that I understand what you're going through and you are not alone. And hopefully in the future, better things can happen for Tibet.
Follow up on that question, if that's okay. Is that right?
Yep.
I was encouraged to follow up. So one of our challenges in encouraging empathy in the world is that a lot of the conflicts that happen are happening on the other side of the planet. So the suffering seems far away. So how, as a young Tibetan, very aware of suffering that happens on the other side of the planet, how would you tell your peers, other students in your school, to care for what is happening in places that are hidden behind borders, behind walls of censorship, and mountains?
Currently, I think that I do look at news every day. I try to make myself a little bit more aware. I look at Twitter, Instagram, social media platforms like that. I do look at that. I will sometimes like talk to my friend, like, what do you think so-and-so did this? Or how do you think this did, or like this new bill, or this whatever is happening? I ask them about it, and I try to get them engaged in conversation, because I do think it's so very important that young people especially really realize what's exactly happening, and not blinded by the fake truth that is happening currently. And I do think that's really important. Thank you.
Well, first of all, maybe two questions. First one is following up on what you just said. And as a Tibetan person who's also debating about compassion and thinking about compassion, how is it trying to engage with your peers in school who are not Tibetan, who may not be thinking as much about compassion in an explicit way?
I do think there are sometimes some complications because some of my friends don't know about Tibet and they don't realize it. And when I tell them gently, like, yes, so China's government did unfortunately take it over some years ago, and that's how it is right now. I tell them, most of my friends will tell me, oh, I understand. One of my friends, she even offered to make a portrait of that, drawings related to that, and all the turmoil that caused because of that. So most friends, yes, like you said, do respond positively. However, there are some people thinking, oh, so you're still occupied by China. So I tell them, no, that's not true. Tibet was a free country. Tibet was a free country that is later occupied by China. So I try to give my best truthful response. I don't want to appear condescending, but I also do want to make sure that people aren't getting the wrong idea.
Maybe I'll ask one follow-up question, but one last one. You mentioned self-compassion. I guess my question is for you, in your experience, both, are there challenges to practicing self-compassion, and do you see a relationship between compassion for yourself and compassion for others?
I do think there are some difficulties with self-compassion, because I do feel like though compassion for others is greatly important, you should also think about yourself. Because I'm not saying in a selfish way, however, because self-compassion is so greatly important because you don't want to push yourself too far, but also you want to show other people compassion as well. And I do think that compassion is greatly important, like I already said. And could you repeat what you said for the second part of the question?
Oh, and do you see a relationship between self-compassion and compassion for others?
Oh yeah, there is definitely a relationship because because you can't really show compassion for others if you're not feeling so well yourself. If one day you're having a bad day and you're feeling sad, other person's trying to get compassion or talking to you and stuff, you can't be immediately smiling because you're already feeling so bad about yourself, you had a bad day. So therefore you do need self-compassion in order to gain that compassion for others.
Many thanks to Tenzin Choezom. Please, another round of applause. Thank you.